We're proud to announce
Chance Forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
Welcome to the Rotary Club of Tulsa. My name is Rhonda Daniel. I'm your club president, and we are so glad that you're with us today. I'd like the volunteers to come forward, please. Past President Linda Bradshaw, John Story, and Kathy Gurrell. Please come on up. Kathy's going to lead our invocation. Linda's going to do our song and pledge, and John will do the visitor introduction. Kathy?
Good afternoon. Let us pray. Lord, once again, we come together to celebrate so many areas of service of Rotary, specifically the work of Camp Enterprise, where students are given a glimpse of hope and success in the free enterprise system. The camp also provides opportunities for new friendships with future Rotarians and a springboard of dreams for this group of high school juniors. We also celebrate the Tulsa Rotary Fellows, all of whom have supported the mission and vision of the club at new levels of giving. Lord, you have blessed us abundantly so that we might be a blessing to others. Keep us constantly mindful of your gifts to us as we step forward in service to others. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Good afternoon, Rotarians. I know we're all so happy because the sun is out today. And, one of America's favorite folk songs continues to celebrate its 75th anniversary. Written in 1940, Woody Guthrie's This Land Is Your Land, and then we'll follow with America. Are we ready? This land is your... This land is your land. This land is my land. From the California... My country, 'tis the sweet land of I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And once again, welcome to the Rotary Club of Tulsa, to all of our visitors and visiting Rotarians. For our visitors, when I state your name, please rise momentarily along with your host, and we'll recognize you, but we will hold our applause until the end. Skip Pettis is here visiting with his host, Michael Turner. Tim Redmond is here with Charlie Westmoreland. Kimberly and Rachel Wolf, Tom Wolf's wife and daughter, are here with Tom. John Remington is here with John McGrath. Very good. Kurt Callan, son of David Callan, is visiting. And Norma Morrison, the wife of Jim Morrison, is here with us today. Way in the back. Let's give all of our visitors a warm welcome. And visiting Rotarians, John Ahrens from Southside. John. Tim Price from Denver and a potential transfer to the club. Jerry Berger from Oklahoma City. PDG, that sounds like past district governor. Yes. And Don Dendos from Southside Club, and from what I understand, an upcoming district governor-elect, something like that. Let's welcome all of our visiting Rotarians. Thank you to all of our visitors. Please come again and see us.
Thank you, volunteers. I would like to recognize this week's Rotary sponsors and thank them for supporting our club activities. We have several this week. Mike O'Brien with Creek County Landfill, John O'Connor with Newton O'Connor Turner and Ketchum, Harvey Rowe with the Ameritrust Companies, Jim Stevenson, Bill Rothrock Jr., and John Rothrock with Yale Cleaners. We encourage you to do business with your fellow Rotarians. In addition to our sponsors, let's take a moment and thank the volunteers who came early to make this meeting run smoothly. Let's give them a round of applause. I want to make sure you put this on your calendar. This is a very special meeting that's coming up. In 2 weeks, we will host a naturalization ceremony. It's a special privilege to observe 40 petitioners to become United States citizens. Food will begin a little bit early that day, so come earlier than usual. We need to have the dishes cleared, and it becomes a courtroom at noon. If you come in a little bit later, you're going to need to eat in Thomas Hall. So it's going to be very exciting. How many of you were here last time we did this? I mean, it just makes you so proud to be an American, right, Matthew? That's right. All right, the second announcement, Brenda Melancon asked me to remind you that Saturday, May 9th, you have an opportunity to work at the MSNI warehouse, which helps support medical supplies overseas. You begin at 9 and you work until noon. If you haven't done that, it's a great opportunity to get in and get your hands dirty a little bit and know that you're helping many, many lives overseas. There is a sign-up sheet on your table, so be sure to sign up for that. Also, I want to encourage you to take a moment. It's blue on your table, the form to sign up for your committees next year. And Jeff Hassel, our incoming president, he would like you to sign up for one of your favorite committees and then pick a new one that maybe you haven't been serving on before to kind of broaden your horizons. So be sure to sign up for that. Committee meetings today is the IBA table sales in room 232. And now, Jeff Hassel, please make your way to the stage to introduce our newest member. And thanks for ratting me out last week.
She whispered in my ear, "Thanks for ratting me out" last week. You may remember she was in Las Vegas on business. It's my great pleasure to introduce our newest member, Kirk Hayes. Will be known to us as Kirk. Kirk is an old friend of mine when he and I both came to Tulsa in about 1987. Kirk is a native of Pauls Valley, Oklahoma. He has a degree from the Crimson and Cream School. He has been in banking his whole career. In January of 2015, he became the president and CEO of the Tulsa region for Arvest Bank. I hate to say taking the place of or filling the shoes of, so I'll try to say it some other way. He is sitting in the same desk where Don Walker used to sit. And he's now learning of all the things that Don did. All of you probably knew Don from all of his activities. He was a very busy and active Rotarian, but also around the community. And so Kirk has the big challenge of trying to stay just as busy as Don did, and I'm sure he'll be successful. Kirk's wife's name is Jana, who he tells me is very busy at Metro Christian and with Meals on Wheels. And they have one son, Baxter, who is a junior at Metro Christian and is just beginning his college choices, although I think Kirk's fingers are crossed that he'll go to OU as well. Kirk, I have your four-way test, and you've been given your pin, and I'm very privileged to introduce you to our club.
Our new member orientation was conducted by past President Ed Monette, so thank you for coming and handling that. It's always so exciting when we have new members join our club. I would like to now bring to the stage Kathy Gurrell. She is the chairman of our Club Foundation Committee, and she has some special presentations today. Kathy?
Thank you, President Rhonda. As chairman of the Rotary Foundation Committee, I'm happy to report to you that the Club Foundation has exceeded $3.3 million in their corpus, which is very exciting. Give yourselves a hand for that. On behalf of the trustees of our Club Foundation and the Club Foundation Development Committee, it is indeed my honor to present 22 more Rotarians with their Club Foundation Fellow recognition. These Rotarians have made contributions to our local Rotary Club of the Tulsa Foundation that has raised their level of recognition. The Club Foundation Fund not only awards grants to the Tulsa area nonprofit organizations, but also to our major projects such as Partners in Education, Camp Enterprise, Crescendo Awards, and the water well drilling project in Nicaragua. I do want to introduce the members of our committee. They consist of Del Dreyer, Tom Klenda, and Regina Moon, and I want to thank all of those people for helping. First, I'd like Phil Lakin, John O'Connor, and Sandra Mullins to begin making their way toward the stage. And as they come forward, we have some other Club Foundation donors to recognize in the meantime. First, our 7 newest fellows. I'm going to ask you to stand in place, and we will give you an applause at the end of the recognition. So, Jane Carlson, Jason Dent, Chuck Jordan, I'm not seeing them, Lucky Lamans, John McGrath, Sandra Mullins, and Tom Wolf. These folks have all given between $500 and $2,499 to receive their fellow lapel pin. Next, we have 7 Rotarians who have contributed between $2,500 and $7,499 to reach the bronze level lapel pin, and I'm going to ask you to stand in your place too. Jerry Barrientos, Rob Berry, David Callan, John Crouch, Joe Moore, Lynn Moore, and Jeff Newman. Our newest silver fellows are as follows, and please stand in your place. John Brock, John Bumgarner, Rhonda Daniel, and Tom Klenda. These 4 have contributed between $7,500 and $14,999 to reach the silver lapel pin level. And now we have our newest gold fellow who has contributed between $15,000 and $24,999. I'd ask Tim Caldwell to please stand. I want to thank all of these Rotarians for their dedication and support to the Rotary Club Foundation. And now it is indeed my honor to recognize Phil Lakin first as the newest platinum member for cumulative donations between $25,000 and $49,999. And John O'Connor, if you'll come to the stage. Thank you so much for your faithfulness and your dedication. A Club Foundation legacy donor is anyone who informs the Club Foundation in writing that he or she has made a planned gift provision in her trust or will or other estate plan naming the Rotary Club of Tulsa Foundation as a beneficiary. Bequest commitments of $25,000 or more will qualify you for recognition in the Allen Edwards Society. And it is indeed my special privilege today to present Sandra Mullins as our newest Allen Edwards member. Sandra's $25,000 bequest reflects her commitment to the future long-term growth of the foundation. Sandra, I'm going to ask you to say a couple words here.
I'm truly humbled and honored to be a small part of this amazing organization. Thank you so much.
More information about our club foundation and the ways that we serve can be found on the Rotary website, tulsarotary.com. In addition, you can find the details of our Legacy Donor Program and the Allen Edwards Society on the website. Any of the committee members would be happy to sit down with you and discuss this also. But we thank you so much for all of your time, your effort, and your contributions. Back to you, Rhonda.
Just so you know, that award is very heavy, isn't it, Sandra? And it's not attached, so we were trying to be very careful. Congratulations again. Now I'd like our Sarge to come up to the side mic. He has several finds for us today. Matthew, we missed you last week, even though I wasn't here. I missed you.
Well, thank you very much. I was actually at Earth Day with my son, and there are Rotarians here who can attest to that, so I was doing something good at least. So I wanted to let everyone know that at the end of the presentation, we have 4 tickets to the Bedlam baseball game on Friday at One Oak Field, and all reserve seats currently sold out. So check your calendars and be prepared to give. So, slides. First up today, speaking of the baseball in the club, Jason wanted to give for 4 years in Rotary on April 27th and gave us $40. Thank you very much, Jason. And David Callan gave $50 for Camp Enterprise, recognizing Harvey Rowe for 21 years of teaching at Camp Enterprise. So thank you very much. I love it when you get 2 Rotarians with one thing. So Harvey said, well, I'll give $100 for Camp Enterprise, because David had the quote of the camp, which was, now that I'm retired, I have time to volunteer. Camp Enterprise is worth every minute. I'll be back. So thank you, Harvey, and thank you, David. So through the year, we've updated you on Michael and the work he's doing with Project Special Courage. And the top picture is Michael and Madison there doing the 25-meter walk at the Special Olympics Regionals. And then bottom right is Lisa, Megan, Madison, and Michael doing the first 5K run as a family. And he gave $50 and wanted to say thank you for the blessings that this Rotary Club has given to him and his family. So thank you. Mr. Brock? Del Snowberger had a birthday on April 26th and gave us $68, so thank you very much, Del. In case anyone back there couldn't hear, that was a cell phone going off very close to me, which is not smart. John and Kathy celebrated their 16th anniversary at Camp Enterprise, and he also recognized 39 years of Camp Enterprise, 14 years from Rotary, and 1 for Lux. So that's $70 from John, and congratulations. David had his birthday on April 6th, 64, and he wanted to give another 36 to recognize all the food service staff and the food we get to eat every week, which I attest to. I think it's great, so thank you very much, David. Mr. Dreyer up front, 33 years in Rotary on the 14th, and 52 years married to Jan on April 20th. So congratulations and thank you very much. Hal, 35 years in Rotary, and gave us $350. So thank you very much, Hal. It's very generous. If you know anyone in the room who has a birthday on May 2nd, say thank you to them, because they gave $500 to our club. You know who you are, and thank you very much. Mr. Ed, 77 on April 15th, $770. I love the trend that he's setting with this one. Thank you very much. All right, before I switch to the auction on this, I do have to confess that I was spotted as I came in. Until today, I didn't realize that my badge is number 136 directly next to me in the box. I'm looking at someone who spotted me, is Mr. Martin Keating. So I came in here, picked up Martin's badge, scanned it, and apparently I was walking around for about 5 minutes with Martin's badge on. So you nearly had old Sarge coming back, and instead you got new Sarge. Anyway, onto the auction slide. So I guess I'm going to have to find myself something. I'll figure out something. So we do have 4 tickets to the OSU-OU Bedlam game on Friday at One Oak Field. The 2 teams, I'm not sure where they are quite in the standings, but they're both battling for first place in the Big 12. It's Friday at 7 p.m. The seats are, if you look at the top right-hand corner of the screen where that blue circle, it's section 114, it's the top row aisle seats. These are great seats. It's sold out, and would anyone give me $100? Right here? 120? 140? 120. Thank you very much. And with it, whoa. I didn't do the going, gone thing. Yeah, you're supposed to go going once. Okay, going once.
Ed, we need you.
140. 150. 150. Going once? 75. 175. 200. Oh. Well, it sounded like you were saying 200. Oh, 200? 200 back. No. 500. 500? That's serious. Can I say we're done? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim. Yay, let's give him another round of applause.
Well, thank you very much.
Now I'd like Eileen Bradshaw, Tricia Kerstra, and Trey Walling. You each have a little announcement for us. Eileen's first.
Next week is Fireside. If you have not signed up yet, there's sign-up sheets on your table. It's a great opportunity to get to meet your fellow Rotarians in a smaller group and to tell incoming President Jeff and his team what's on your mind. There's some really fun places to sign up that still have a lot of spots open. So if you're a new Rotarian particularly, it can be intimidating to walk in the room and not know anybody. This is a great way to get to know people in a small group, so please sign up.
Thank you, President Rhonda. I'm really excited to make my announcement today with all the Camp Enterprise students here. So listen up, because the end of it's going to be really important for you. So the announcement is we are seeking our 3 host families for our exchange student that we're hosting next year. We have a lovely young lady from Spain coming. She'll be with us from August till about June. So the top 3 questions I usually get, gosh, should I be a host family or not? Here's the typical questions. Yes, you have to provide them room and board, so you have to feed them breakfast, lunch at school, and dinner. Number 2, yes, you have to get them to and from school. Our student goes to Bishop Kelly, and I've hosted a lot of the students, and I can never get them to and from, but BK is really great. They always share with me BK families in my zip code. I always work out really great carpool, so that's really easy to do. And number 3, you have your student for 3 to 4 months. So just the perfect amount of time to get to know them and love them. They become a part of your family, but then move on to the next family, and then you kind of, get your own life back. So, but it's really a great experience. Also, we stipend the student, our club, so they get $125 a month for their spending money. So the host family doesn't have to pay for movies and, such like that. So, okay, here's the other part that is really important. And for the CE students to listen to, you do not have to be a Rotarian to be a host family. So if you're maybe thinking about, oh, should I, or visitors who are here, if you'd like to have a young person in your life for, 3 to 4 months next year, it's really a great experience. And for the student, if you have children in your home or you're a teenager yourself, you cannot resist without having the student in your home think, man, maybe I want to go on exchange. This fall, we'll be taking our scholarship applications so that we can send students on exchange 16, 17, the fall of 16 through spring 17. And so a lot of the CE students, you're going to be seniors next year, but you can go your gap year, which means you take a year off between high school and college, and you're just repeating your senior year in another culture, in another language. It's really an awesome experience, and we scholarship it. So we pay for your room and board, and you get a stipend while you're gone. So if anybody's interested in hosting next year, any questions about Youth Exchange, I'll be right up here. Come ask me questions afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Trish.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and guests. I am here today to speak to you briefly about the IBO Awards, but I want to start with an update on our female recipient this year, Melissa Arnott. World record holding mountain climber, currently on Mount Everest during the Nepal earthquake. Her and her team were fortunately spared. No one on her team nor herself were injured. And as a nationally certified EMT, Melissa not only possesses a special skill set as a mountaineer to help in the recovery efforts, but also a special skill set as an emergency medical technician to help those wounded, to help in the search and recovery of those that were not fortunate enough to survive the earthquake and the avalanche. She was in her attempt to make her 6th summit of Everest, the first American female to do so without the use of supplemental oxygen. That effort has obviously stopped, and she is now focused on helping those of her peers and the people of Nepal, which our donation to her foundation, the Juniper Fund, could not come at a more appropriate time. The Juniper Fund itself is developed and built to support the people of Nepal. After the earthquake, our generous donation to Melissa's foundation will certainly be well used. So that's the update on Melissa. We're all happy that her and her team are okay, and that she will be serving in a true Rotarian spirit to the people of Nepal and her fellow climbers. Now, on to the me begging you for money part. So our event, June 22nd, our goal this year is for every Rotarian in this room to purchase a ticket. Even if you can't attend, let us know, let the Rotary office know. We will make certain that your ticket goes to a deserving individual that will enjoy the event. Another effort to bring the true Rotarian spirit into the IBO Awards. Please note that this is our single largest fundraiser of the year. And while we are providing great positive role models for Tulsa's youth with this event, the end goal is the charity itself. The Community Foundation, it allows us to put money not back into our club, but into the charitable causes that we're also passionate about and supportive of. So please mark your calendars for June 22nd. Please make the commitment to join us this year. As Rotarians, every single one of you in this crowd today are our single best marketing tool. Please talk to your friends and family about the event, your coworkers. Evangelize it for us, because until you've been, you will never understand the impact that we can have with this single event on our wonderful community. Thank you.
Thank you. It is now time for our chairman of Camp Enterprise, the Rotarian of the Day, Mr. Stu McDaniel. Let's hear it, guys.
Well, thank you all for actually showing up, despite the fact you knew I was speaking. Frankly, I've had the blessing and honor of being the 2015 Camp Enterprise Chair. I want to tell you a really fast, quick little story. I was brought into the club at 19 years old by Miss Karen Keith, who's on her phone right now. I got my blue badge the day I got my blue badge, and I was did the training with Bob Said, and I was greeted by a wide-eyed, very excited Brian Bovard. And he said, "You're young. You're on Camp Enterprise." I had no idea what it was. All I know is Brian's a very difficult person to say no to. So I said, "Sure, sign me up." I had no idea what I was in for, and it's been a true blessing since. It got me hooked. Frankly, it is probably the #1 reason I'm still a member of this club today, because the friendships you make at this camp, you are put in a camp for 3 days, 3.5 days, and you are spending time, quality time with fellow Rotarians as opposed to just lunch. You're getting to know them on a personal level, and it's pretty incredible. So for those that have not attended, you need to. This is one of the coolest things that Rotary does. So not only does it help the kids enter the job market more prepared to know how business functions and what their role is, it's actually a pretty selfish thing for us because it's pretty awesome for us to benefit from. So with that, I'm going to jump right into the PowerPoint. There we go. This year's theme is Trust Your Gut. Being someone that started their company when I was 16 in high school, I really had no sense of how business functions. I could have so benefited from Harvey's training. I did not go to Camp Enterprise. And so really all I've had was my intuition and the gut decision of if you don't feel that it's right, something's wrong. So I've led my company that way. We're still in business. We're celebrating our 10th anniversary. So I'm really excited about that. Thank you. And in honor of that, I thought it was only fitting to take a leadership role with Camp Enterprise since I've done it for so many years as an assisting role. Last year, I was at a weak point at Brian Bovard's office at 3 in the morning. We were stuffing name badges. He likes to do things at the 11th hour and the 59th second. And I do too, so he and I get along really, really well and try to kill each other at that 57th or 59th second. So we're stuffing badges, and he's telling me all the things that he's done, and John Raines played an important role last year in helping pick up the slack. And I had a moment, like I said, of weakness, and I said, "You really need help." And he's like, "What I need is a co-chair." Okay, well, I'll be that, whatever that means. I didn't know that meant chair next year. So I got a double dose, and I'm very grateful for it, but it has been a fun journey. So I'm going to kind of run you through some of the pictures. We had a wonderful camp, a beautiful facility to work with. This is by far the nicest camp, and I'm not being biased. This is by far the nicest camp we've ever had the blessing and honor to be able to use. And I kept telling everyone, behave, mainly the adults, behave. We want to be invited back. This is too nice. So you can see some of the canoeing. That's Karen up there in the corner. This is her first year, and she's going to be a hardcore Camp Enterpriser from here on out. So you can see some of the activities, the ropes course, the canoeing, and the horseback. This is the first year to have horseback as part of the activities. So I'm going to kind of get you through this. The video really explains it the best. And then all of your tables have a yearbook of some of those photos, so you can kind of look closely. This is not possible without, obviously, money. And the Club Foundation is the main underwriter, with the majority of the support coming from the foundation. And each year we go forward to them and explain what our goals are and ask them to make the biggest contribution. And they've made that commitment year after year after year. So it's very, very important that you recognize that this is one of our key programs. This is something that it makes Rotary what it is in our community. We are known for this. We're 39 years in. So this is key. So thank you, Foundation. Thank you, Rotarians, for donating to that foundation and giving us the funds to do this. Some of our other sponsors that make it possible, we have some in-kind as well as cash donation. From the health zone, Mazio's supported us by also having Sherry Mixka was one of our speakers, as well as they provided lunch. Junior Achievement helps with the Titan program that you're going to learn a little bit about in a second from Harvey. The University of Tulsa comes and speaks and has a session about innovation and entrepreneurialism. It's very, very cool. Explorer Pipeline, Ameritrust, obviously with Harvey. Pendagraph and Doug. Max Electric is a new sponsor. I conned Jack into. Is Jack here? Oh, he's not here. He knew I was going to say something. Jack is an amazing man, and I talked him into signing a contract with my agency and a donation to Camp Enterprise at the same meeting. So he is so cool. Brian Bovard and his efforts with Camp Grit. J.D. Young, I2E, and then very, very important is Steak Night, Texas Roadhouse, and I believe we have Miranda, yes, here with us. Thank you. It's something to entice all these Rotarians to come down as a free steak dinner, come on. And then Tim and Kay Caldwell with their donation. Thank you so much. Really fast, I want to cover the people that really make this possible. As chair, you're responsible for coordinating and herding cats, but it's really the cats that get it all done. So I want to introduce you to my co-chair. Marcia, will you stand up? I see you, so you can't hide. Okay. Marcia is not a Rotarian, hint, hint, but she is a East Village neighbor and a wonderful, wonderful friend that I didn't have a co-chair lined up. I was much in the same situation as Brian was last year, and I went to her and said, I need someone to help me with it, and she's like, no, you need someone to organize you. So she basically stepped up to do that and kept me in line and made sure I was getting the dates and things handled accordingly. So Marcia, you are a godsend. Thank you so much. To run through all these familiar faces without them, this is absolutely not going to happen. The registrar, Doug, he handles so many things behind the scenes that you wouldn't believe what he does. He gets all these kids' information coordinated, all of their packets together, gets all their medical information together, and gets them to the buses, gets everything. It is insane the amount of work that this man does, and he does it almost entirely on his own and quietly, and you just show up. It's like, did Doug do his thing? And it's like, thank God he did, because no one else knew what was going on. It just happened. Outside of that, I'm going to pair Eric and Harvey together because they are a dynamic duo. Eric is Harvey's support team. He's the one that keeps all the audio and video running and Titan software functioning and helps Harvey with all the calculations and everything. Harvey is amazing. Harvey is who runs our Titan program, and Harvey's going to talk to you a little bit about that in a minute. Luann handles our DISC portion, which is the personality assessment portion. And this year we had a new face, which you can learn about a little bit in a minute, is Becky Fields. She helped John with volunteer coordinating. And then Brian Bovard, the lone student recruitment extraordinaire, so who ran to every county in the tri-state area, it feels like, to try to recruit kids. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into the video. If you would go ahead and...
What we're doing at Camp Enterprise is actually planting the seeds for future Rotarians because we're hoping to build business leaders out of this camp.
We've had engineers come and speak, we've had doctors come and speak, we've had people from nonprofits come and speak. So we cover every angle.
You see the adults really interacting with the kids, and they're asking questions, they're learning from each other.
The kids will come away from this, much like I did almost 30 years ago, with a different perspective on how business operates.
It's a good opportunity to get out of your comfort zone, learn how to meet new friends, learn about business, which is something that was eye-opening. I got to learn a lot.
I would recommend this camp to people who are going into the field of business and who aren't going into the field of business, because regardless, you learn about economics along with other things. I think it would help any person later in life.
I'd like to really fast, my staff that came with me, stand up really quick. Seconds, hurry. Okay, there you go. My staff, I have some of the best people employed I've ever had, some of the greatest creatives I've ever could have asked for. And they get what service above self means, and they understand why I continue to do this. And they help me, because without these staff, without these people, Carrie, Jonathan, and Torillo, I wouldn't be able to pull off a video, honestly, that great. And I can say it's great because I didn't do it, they did. So anyhow, I'm going to jump into introducing you to the speakers that we had real quick, and then I'll hand it off to Harvey. So we had Sherry Mixa with Mazio's, Chester Ehrig with KSQ Architects, Andrew Narr with Collaborate Media, Larry Wolford with University of Tulsa. He's the one that did the entrepreneurial program. And then our own Karen Keith, John Raines, who is now the Director of Information Systems at IMAX, so he's got a new job. He was able to talk about that a little bit. And without that, I'm going to hand it over to John and Becky real quick to handle volunteers.
While Becky's making her way up here, once again, we had a wonderful Camp Enterprise. We had 34 total volunteers somehow put their hand at the camp this year, 11 of which were new. So I'm going to read the male counselors. As I read your name, would you please stand up if you're here? David Callan, Brian Bovard, Pedro Figueroa, Charles Johnson, Torillo Walls, Charles Seacrest, Joe Moore, John Raines, Michael Burke, John DeBar, Jeffrey Engel, Tim Nall, and Clark Southmaid, all spent 2 to 4 days at the camp mentoring children.
We also had Jessica Hickerson, Becky Fields, Carolyn Leach, Belle McDaniel, Marcia Folsom, Alicia Herrera, Barbara Nall, Luann Bullinger, Dana Burke, Kathy Raines, Annie Marshall, Catherine DeCamp, Jules DeWalk, and Taylor Burks. Thank you, guys.
This is truly a family affair. A lot of us bring our spouses and our children, and Stu brought his children from his company. And, you know, we all pull it off together, and it's a great experience. I also want to recognize Marty Alexander, Barbara Nall, Doug Padgett, Harvey, Eric, and Stu. Those are the rest of the helpers. So it was about 41 people. Thank you.
Well, Harvey. Harvey. This man is incredible, and as you saw, 21 years. It's an impressive number of years. But what he does at the camp, we wouldn't have a camp without Harvey Rowe and Eric to support him. So here you go, Harvey. Without further ado, I'll let you take over. Thank you.
That last part was an exaggeration, but thank you anyway. First, let me give thanks to Eric Ortega for all the help he does. I mean, it's just amazing. I have trouble answering my iPhone, and he can just make everything work and work great. So thanks, Eric, for all that you do. Also want to take this opportunity to thank Junior Achievement. They have the business simulation program called Titan, and they've been a big supporter of Camp Enterprise as long as I've been involved, and hopefully will continue. Over the past 21 years, I've estimated that I've had an opportunity to interact with about 1,680 students that attended Camp Enterprise. Every year is different. Every year I'm renewed by the talent that we get to see. Among you today, the students that are out there are clearly the business leaders of the future, and you should be encouraged by this. Their performance in Camp Enterprise 2015 was extremely impressive, and I would like to highlight some of their achievements. And Eric and I manage the business simulation program, so we're going to be focused on the Titan. The product is HaloGenerators, a device that can project 3D images from any media source. 65 students organized 8 different companies. Each company had to make decisions concerning who would lead them, how they would expend money for research and development, marketing, capital investment, and production. And they had to set competitive prices in response to what their industry peers were doing. They also had to decide the level of debt they would assume in carrying out these strategies. And Kirk, as our newest member and being a longtime banker, they borrowed money and they actually paid it back. It's amazing. The teams were extremely competitive and actively participated in 18 rounds, where each round represented 1/4 of a year. Once each company decided who their president would be, they had to develop a strategy of what type of company they were going to run. In the beginning, each team struggled, and I think would agree they were very frustrated. Reaching a consensus under time pressures added to the challenges. We told the students each company would start together, but they would not finish together. This was not a kumbaya moment. There would be winners. We also tried to explain that if they made sound business decisions, the industry would grow and many companies could be profitable and stay in business. I'm proud to note today that every company was profitable at the end of Camp Enterprise 2015. Although applied microeconomics was allocated the most time, macro issues were also discussed. We emphasized the importance for each student to be aware of decisions of our political leaders and be involved in the process. Each company was measured on what we designate as performance index, which is the largest weighting is from retained earnings in their companies. Let's meet the top 3 companies, and what I'd like to do is I mention the names of the companies. Any students that are here from those companies, please stand up, and we'll recognize all 3 of you at the end. Just concentrating on the top 3 at this point. From in 3rd place, a company called Evolve. President was Hannah Brennicke. Counselors Jessica Hickerson, Jeff Engel, and Charles Seacrest. If anybody's here from that company, please stand up. Their performance index was 262. 2nd place was a company named Gramco. President Angel Harris, PI index of 273. Counselors Brian Bovard and Karen Keith. Please. And in 1st place, a company called 3D Gen, President Michelle Merchant, performance index of 299. Counselors were Pedro Figueroa, Taylor Burks, and Marcia Folsom. I'd like them to stand up and be recognized. Now I'm going to read the names of the other companies and the presidents, and if you're here, please stand up along with any counselors in this group. Holla Black, President Gunnar Reed. Voyager 8, President Rachel Wolf. V-Rod, President Wyman Brewer. Hollow XP, President Miranda Bova. And Real ID, President Lark Crowder. If any of the people are here, please stand up. Each year, 2 presidents from this group are selected to receive what we call the Free Enterprise Award. These presidents showed the most enthusiasm and persistence in asking questions, sometimes constantly asking questions, but that was good. We enjoyed that, and applying real sound business principles and leading their company. You will note that the winners ranked in the top 3, and that was because of their leadership and our interaction with them. I'd like to recognize both of these. I know one of them's here. I haven't seen the other one. Michelle Merchant, president of 3D Gen, and Hannah Brennicky, president of Evolve. Please stand. Each one of these recipients received an autographed copy of the book Free to Choose by Milton and Rose Friedman. Now, what's interesting about that is both Milton and Rose Friedman are deceased. So that's a valuable asset that you have there, because I'm not sure how many more of those autographed books we're going to have. So congratulations on that. Our goal is every student attending Camp Enterprise is to leave with a better understanding of how our free market economic system is supposed to work. The talent of the students that we've had the opportunity to work with strengthens our faith in the future leadership of America. We are confident that the torch can be passed with confidence. It is now my privilege to introduce, that you've already heard her name several times, the winning team president, to give her testimony on some of the events that she participated in. And I'll ask Michelle Merchant to come on to the front. She's president of 3D Gen. Michelle is a junior at Bristow High School. She has a 4.0 grade point average and is in line for the Valedictorian of Distinction 2016. Michelle is involved in tennis, choir, and serves on their varsity academic team. She serves the community through Student Council, Junior Vice President of Interact, and National Honor Society, and is a very impressive young lady. At the end of her comments, then Stu will take over again. Thank you very much.
So thank you all for making Camp Enterprise possible. I know it was a real blessing and a joy to be able to be a part of it, and I'm so happy that we all had the opportunity to come together and really work to learn about business a little more, because I know that myself personally, and probably most of the people in my group, we had no real knowledge of business, and we left with a lot, so it was a real learning experience. So I really loved being able to do that. My business personally, we were in 5th place for the first 4 or 5 rounds, and then we made kind of a drastic change, and then we went straight up to 1st place and kept it until the end. And so that was kind of a cool thing to do. And basically, our entire approach was more of keeping high production and low cost and just being really competitive with our price. So that's pretty much how we won. And it was just a really great time being able to connect with other people in my group and with other people in the camp all together, and to be able to learn from other activities in the camp and all the different games and activities we did. So thank you all for making it possible for us, and I know that we really appreciate it.
Real quick, just all the campers that are here with us, go ahead and stand once more. and counselors. Thank you so much for coming. Real fast, Brian Bovard at the 59th second told me that I need to throw a shout out to Interact. You guys that enjoyed Camp Enterprise, your next step is to be involved in Rotary through Interact. That's the Rotary age group for the high school students. So what I'm going to do is, Brian, stand up, wave. Everyone knows who Brian Bovard is, right? Yeah. See him after the meeting so that you can talk. Yes, he's going to be here for 15 minutes late, and he's going to talk about Interact and get you plugged in your local Interact, or if you don't have a home club, we can get you plugged into ours. Without further ado, the most exciting news possible is we have a chair for next year. Becky Fields, if you'd come to the stage. Becky is evidence that if you come to Camp Enterprise, look like you're excited, look like you're enjoying it, have a smile on your face at every time, you may be asked to do something. So now, I'm going to jump over to, it's really not that impressive, a PowerPoint slide with Becky's picture on it. But the 2016 chair of Camp Enterprise, Becky Fields. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Stu. And first of all, I really want you guys to know how much work that Stu put in this year and what a great job he did. So if you guys would give him a round of applause. When he first approached me about this, of course I was excited. It's a great program and I'm always up for a challenge. But then the second thought is, oh my word, I'm freaking out. What did I just do? But then a quote also comes to mind whenever I have a situation like this, and it's that quote about, if you see a turtle on a fence post, you know he didn't get there alone. And so really all this is building on the shoulders of giants that have already done this before, and the great programs that are in place with Harvey and Brian and Stu and everything that's already happened all these years. And so all we're going to do is just keep building on that. And so I challenge you, as we're signing up for committees this year, to really consider being with Camp Enterprise this year, whether you can just help during the year or during the camp, even for 2 days. Just come out or have ideas for speakers, donations, whatever you want, just to be a part of it. And I would leave you with this one quote, because what we're really doing is sowing in the lives of the future generations. And this is out of the book, As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Dream lofty dreams, and as you dream, so shall you become. Your vision is the promise of what you shall one day be. The greatest achievement was, for a time, just a dream. The oak sleeps in the acorn, the bird waits in the egg. Dreams are the seedlings of realities. So if you want to be a part of tomorrow and the seeds of greatness that lie in our youth for future generations, to build in our businesses and to be your future employees and employers probably, I'd challenge you to sign up for Camp Enterprise next year and be a help. We would really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Becky, how long have you been in the club? Since August. See that blue form right there? You need to sign up for committees. Jeff, I'm helping you here. Okay. I tell you, it is so exciting to see new members get involved in committees, and this is what happens. You get excited and you get enthusiastic, and then it's just like it carries on to us old people that have been in the club for a while. So anyway, Stu, thank you very much. And this is always so much fun to see the report about Camp Enterprise. And every time I have this meeting, I just get so pumped up. Put it on your calendar. Do you know when it is next year yet? Do we know the dates? Okay. It's in the spring, or is it going to be in the fall? Similar date. Similar time. Okay. Mark your calendars. Okay, a book recognizing today's program will be presented to our school, Celia Clinton. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. That's not you, is it? Oh, Slacker, The Long Haul. Okay, upcoming programs next week is Brian Thorstenberg and Brian Pascal, and they're with the Tulsa Chamber. It's about economic development, so you want to make sure you come to that. And then don't forget, May 13th is the naturalization ceremony. You do not want to miss that one. As we conclude, kids, I picked this song out just for you. Party in the USA. Sign up for Interact. Thank you. We are adjourned.